coming in at $83. This is the Epomaker TH99. This was sent to me for review by Epomaker, but I reached out to them because I've been looking for a keyboard that would be fun to use when I'm not working. When I'm working, I tend to use ergonomic keyboards just for the comfort of long-term typing. This has been just amazing. I love the color scheme, this black and white. It reminds me of Storm Shadow from G.I. Joe back when I was a kid. But of course, Storm Shadow was more white with black accents, but even still, like I look at this and for whatever reason, I just think Storm Shadow. I think white and black would look really cool too, by the way, and maybe over time that'd be good because, you know, with these ABS plastic keycaps, they tend to get shiny over time with a lot of ABS plastics, not necessarily an Epomaker thing, but I don't know. I don't know how this is gonna hold up over time. I've only been using it for about a week and a half over the holiday break, but I've been really enjoying it. And it's been nice because I haven't been working, so I haven't been doing a whole lot of typing. So I've just been able to connect this to my Mac and then, you know, do my browsing and type a couple text messages and such from time to time. Okay, you get a lot of functionality and a really great build quality at just $83. I'm really just blown away by this. So let's start with the chassis. This plastic, the whole thing is ABS plastic, and that's not a bad thing. ABS plastics are used in a lot of products. What I like about this, and I think why it's important to call out that it's ABS, is it may not look like ABS coming from this video feed. This is a nice shiny finish that's smooth. It reminds me a lot of the ThinkPad computers. So here's an X1 Carbon. They're not identical, of course, but the ThinkPad, these do attract grease more than what you just saw from the Epomaker, but also you're putting your hands on your laptop frequently, right? Whereas the chassis of your keyboard, you're not doing so much. But anyway, it just reminds me of it, where it's a smooth, almost rubbery finish, but it's ABS plastic. Okay, now this layout, this is called the 1800 layout. And you get pretty much every key, but it's a slightly different layout to make it more compact. You know, there's 75s and 65s and all these different layouts. I haven't come across this 1800 before, so it may be unique to Epomaker. So what they give you is, of course, most of the keys you want, even delete, insert, page up, and page down. What they've done is they made the shift key shorter, and that could be a problem for you if you're really a heavy user of shift. But take a look what they did with the arrow keys. So instead of lining up the arrow keys to the enter key and the backspace key, right, to make it uniform, they just pushed it out to the side a little more. And that extra space, for me, I never once pressed the up arrow when I was trying to press shift or the other way around. So even though this is shorter, I think they did a good job of creating this space so that you don't have a problem with it being shorter. But then even still, they could get more keys in there, right? They can't really put a fourth key right here. You see what I'm saying? Like they really played the Tetris game very well to give you more keys without making it hard to use. If you think back, oh, this is a random pull that just came to my mind, but for a while there, I think like 2020, maybe 2019, Razer, the laptop maker, they were making keyboards on their laptops and they're just shrinking, no number pad, and they really butchered the shift key. This is kind of a similar idea, but they made it bigger than in that case. So it's not as small, it's not half size like the one on the left. And then they also give you the full size arrow keys in the proper layout. So big fan of what they did there, so it's not a problem. These function keys have multiple functionality. So included in the box is this guide, and it tells you for Mac and PC all the things that it can do. So I don't know if you want to take a screenshot of this, you can probably find it online if you're curious, but of course, if you buy it, you'll get it too. So I've been using this guide because I'm trying to get comfortable and familiar with all these different macros and multifunction keys. But the thing that I use the most, I use the volume controls, which are function plus F11 and function plus F12. I use volume controls and I use track controls more than anything, especially play and pause. I get 5 minutes to watch a YouTube video, I hit pause and I gotta go take care of something. That's just my life. But I got into the lighting as well because I was trying to figure out all the different lighting modes and what's available to me with this keyboard. So the lighting on this, I'm gonna turn off this light. It's really good. If I can just blindly turn this on here, there we go. So you have a number of different lighting modes, and you can see here that I settled on this blue back glow, this underglow here. I think I might change this to white, and maybe we can do that on the screen here real quickly. So So right now I'm going to keep it in static, but I'm going to change the color, which is function delete. So function keys right down here. Please note, control function and alt over here are smaller than control Windows and alt. Also, this keyboard did not come with the Mac keys, unfortunately, option and command. So you just have to remember that this is option and this is command. But anyhow, I'm gonna hit function and delete, and it's gonna change my color. It should be on max brightness, but I'll just double check real quick. Yeah, max brightness. So you can see all the different color patterns. Yeah, they don't have a white, unfortunately. That would have been sick. So I think I'll keep it with this teal color. All right, then you can also change, you can turn it off and on just by doing that. And then you can also change the effect. So you do not need to download an app, which is really appreciated. So effect is function and insert. I don't know who can handle that. That's cool. So there you go, a number of different lighting options. Very cool stuff. Okay, now in terms of functionality, this is fully compatible with PC and Mac. As I mentioned, you do not need to download any software to make this work. Here on the back, you still have that smooth finish. And let me turn the light back on here. And what I noticed is it comes with the dongle. Isn't that great? I love that. So you can set it to Windows or Mac, Bluetooth or 2.4 gigahertz wireless with that dongle. And then there's your USB port if you want to have it wired. I mostly used the dongle, and battery life was quite good. In the week and a half that I was using it every day for, maybe an hour or two a day, the battery, it never lost power. I never had to recharge it. There is a battery meter, by the way. So let me turn it back on here. If you hold down, where'd it go? Let me check the handy key here, the guide. Battery check, function, and enter. Here, watch this. It'll give you a status bar. Why is that not working? I swear this worked before. Function, enter. Okay, so the last time I did this, it completely worked, and I swear it gave me a status indicator like, 9 being 90%, 6 being 60%. What am I doing wrong? Oh, this is super embarrassing. Okay, well, whatever. Maybe because it's not connected, it doesn't want to tell me, but I don't think that's true. Let me change it to Windows mode. Okay, well, I apologize. I swear this worked before. It was really helpful to have. So, but the important thing to know is this 4,000 milliamp hour battery didn't die on me. All right, so the keys. Let's take a better look at these keys. They're good size and they sound great. They have a nice syncing feeling, right? So when you click it, it doesn't bounce back really fast. It's not one of those types of keys. And it just has a nice syncing, clicky feel to it. Thocky, as they say. I love the way that feels. Okay, so some information about this keyboard. In total, there are 102 keys, and this is the equivalent of 96% of a QWERTY layout according to their website. As I mentioned, ABS plastic. The plate material is PC plastic. The flex cut is PCB flex cut. There are stabilizers. It's a gasket mount structure, which I think is pretty clear. These are cherry profile keycaps or keys, and they feel just great. I can't emphasize that enough. I think keyboards are one of those things you have to get your hands on them yourself. It's the only way to really know if you're going to like it or not. So check this out. This is another keyboard they sent over called the TH99, or 59 rather. Listen to this. Way more clicky, a little more thocky, right? These keys are also massive in comparison. I would say these are oversized and these are standard size, but you know what? After looking at so many keyboards in my life, I can't keep track anymore. Okay, so a couple things I want to call out on the build. All plastic, as I mentioned, but it feels very good. And these rubber feet are awesome. So I have a sliding tray keyboard So with a little too much force, the tray will move around, right? But even with this keyboard on top, it was very stable, which is good. So this keyboard itself also did not slide around, which is much appreciated. You do have an angle adjustment, 9 and 6%, just like that. I just kept it flat. That worked best for me. When I'm sitting down versus standing up, I have a standing desk, this keyboard was just phenomenal to use. And I think even with my wrist issues, I might be able to main this. If I'm sitting, I should be fine. But once I was standing up, I couldn't quite find an angle that I liked or a posture. So unfortunately, if I'm gonna stand, which why not, you know, if I have a standing desk, I should use it, then I'm gonna have to go back and forth between the two. But that's not hard to do. It's really not, it's not too heavy of a keyboard at all. Okay, travel distance. So first of all, there's a travel distance of, where'd it go? I lost it. 3.6. So 4 millimeters, I think, in total travel distance. Okay, so I love this keyboard. I think for $83, this is an insane deal. Most of the keyboards that I review, they tend to be either around $100 and, you know, they're good but not great. And I would say normally like, hey, for $100, it's not bad. And then I would also review these like $200 or $250 keyboards. I'm like, yeah, it better be good for that kind of money. This is an anomaly. At $83, it has no right being as good as it is, at least for me. Keyboards, I think, are very personal. So, hey, try to get your hands on this if you can. You can get it from Epomaker's website. I'll put a link in the description. And like I said, this thing punches above its weight. Awesome keyboard. Thank you, Epomaker, for sending it over. And thank you all for watching. We'll see you on the next one. Cheers.